Put some music on. What do you think this is, the funeral?
Yo, yo, yo. What's up? Welcome to another episode of The Last Episode, where I, your host, John Lil Will, am judge, jury, and executioner. My credentials are as follows. I have a podcast. That's it. That's all we need. We have a podcast. We have opinions, That's all it takes to give them. And look, I skipped another week, okay? And it's because with the Bad Batch episodes, they're shorter. And I should have told you ahead of time, but it's all free-flowing. I just kind of decided it last week. The episodes are so short and with just a limited amount of content that until I start doing a little bit more with the show, where I'm pulling in extra topics, and which I'm starting to do. I was just going to go two at a time, but that's already over because Loki is dropping, and so with the Marvel is my baby. So there's going to be weekly installments for the episodes for Marvel, for Loki, and I will talk about Bad Batch as well. The scheduling for it is going to be a little interesting because Loki drops on Wednesday, and I don't want to wait too long to give my reaction to that. So those are going to come on Thursdays now. Okay, the podcast will start coming on Thursdays, the day after Loki drops. So for the Bad Batch, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be doing two podcasts or if I'm going to be putting them together. And that way, because Bad Batch doesn't come out till Friday, if I wait all the way till the next Thursday, is that too long? You know what I'm saying? So there's still some kinks to work out as far as how we're going to be presenting the Bad Batch material, because my main focus is the MCU stuff. With Loki coming out on the 9th on Wednesday, we will be full steam ahead on the Marvel content. And for that first episode, I may have a guest that I'm bringing on that we'll be able to discuss Loki together in the opening episode. It's going to be fun. I very much look forward to it. If everything works out the way that I expect it to. We'll be having somebody on, and I'll give you more details about that on my Twitter as the details become more apparent. 1 second, let me sip my coffee. You know how I do. Okay, now let's go ahead and start talking about Bad Batch episodes 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6 were good, interesting episodes. I'm still loving the show. I'm worried about some things, man. Not just Omega, like I was mentioning before, but let's talk about it, man. First of all, I love that they're doing everything that they can to make Omega feel like she is part of the team. She's not just somebody they're dragging along for the ride. She wants to contribute. She wants to be a member of Clone Force 99 with basically all that entails. She's still so kind and, wholesome. So, such a sweet kid, but ready to prove her worth. And I appreciate that. I respect it. They gave her the communicator, in episode 6, she got the bow and they're teaching her how to use it. They're taking her out on the missions. It's great. I love the whole thing that they're doing. And then Hunter looks after her like a father figure. Wrecker's like a big brother. And Echo and Tech are, they're just, they're cool family members too. They look out for her and respect her, but they're intellectuals and, they have their own kind of thing going on. Episode 5 introduced Sid. Okay, Sid, this mercenary creature, who's basically like the same creature as Bosk. He looks like Bosk, if you remember Bosk from Clone Wars. And from the video game as well, because that's actually, I played the Battlefront video game before I watched Clone Wars, and so I wasn't really familiar with Bosk at that time. But after going back and watching it, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker. Okay, yeah, he's annoying. Speaking of annoying bad guys, eventually we're going to be doing another list where we're going to rank the bad guys, the villains in Marvel. We'll do a separate one for the bad guys, the villains in Star Wars, that universe. And we're, like I said, we're going to start bringing in more topics, more content, things to discuss. So we're not just reviewing the episodes and that's it, right? We need to do more. We need to do more. We're going to do that. We're, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to improve and do more for you guys. And I'm going to hold true to that. Now, Sid. I don't trust Sid because of the nature of your business, right? You're someone who trades people, items, information for money. At the end of the day, that's always going to be who you are. I don't think that's going to change. You're probably the person who's more going to use them because they are useful for whatever missions, whatever you can get out of them before you turn them over to you're going to find out who wants them for how much and all that stuff. And when they've served their purpose, I can definitely see Sid just flipping on them and turning them in. So don't trust Sid at all. He even made that remark at the end of episode 5 about how valuable they must be. Yeah, that's going to make us feel great about trusting you. So, I mean, you could be just calling it like you see it, and all that respect, but I just don't trust it. I definitely don't trust it. I mean, you're a reptilian creature. Look at you, right? Like, most reptilian creatures, are they trustworthy? Yeah, you're in the family of snakes. Y'all got the forked tongue. There's just something about reptiles and all which that feel like you can't trust them. I mean, even think about a gecko. You can't trust a gecko. The motherfuckers that change colors and shit and be hiding. Yeah, no. There's some snake shit. No pun intended. Look, you feel what I'm trying to say, though. I did think it was kind of weird that Hunter didn't realize that Sid was Sid in the beginning when Sid was trying to throw him off their trail. I don't know if Sid's a guy or a girl or anything. I don't know what Sid is, but that's why I'm avoiding saying he or she. I'm really not positive. I can't tell by the voice. But Hunter's supposed to be adept at using his instincts, catching people off guard or just picking up on things that other people might not pick up on, that might go over their heads. That's supposed to be his thing, his instincts, right? I thought it was kind of weird he didn't realize that Sid was lying, but Omega did. But that's neither here nor there. Interesting to see them bring the Zygerians back in. The Zygerians better be glad that Daenerys Targaryen is not around because she don't put up with that slaving shit. Just shut that shit down and bring the dragons and burn everything down if you're not going to release them. But most likely she's just going to make you release them and then burn you down. So somebody needs to do that to them because slavery in any capacity, anywhere, in any of these shows, any movies, is disgraceful. Cut that shit out. I thought it was cool, though, that those Zygerians were able to control that Breezak creature. That's quite the pet to have at your disposal, flying around and intimidating people and fucking them up. You can ride on them and everything. It's a hell of a pet to have. Now, somebody riddle me this. Why the fuck is someone always taking something from Jabba the Hutt? Right? So we got the Rancor, Moochie. But then you also had like his baby, his son, in the Clone Wars they had to save. Like, why is somebody always taking something from Jabba the Hutt? He's supposed to be a boss, you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be someone that people fear. Do they really fear him like that? He keep getting shit taken from him, and he has to have somebody else retrieve whoever's been taken. That's kind of interesting to me. That's something I noticed. I was like, hey, man, you don't quit picking on Jabba. It feels like people are picking on Jabba. Shouldn't be able to do that. Slimy ass don't leave his fucking throne room. This shit is ridiculous. The main points of the episode, right? It's a fun episode. It's cool. It's interesting. You see the Rancor creature that they introduce, and like anytime the Star Wars universe shows us like a new creature, that shit is cool to me. It's interesting. But the main point of what we're seeing that stood out to me is Order 66 working its way into Wrecker. That's what I'm scared of, man. I'm not sure if something happened. He hit his, like, we know he hit his head in episode 6, and that like made it worse. But in episode 5, when he started, with the I have a headache or whatever, and I'm not sure. Did something happen to him in episode 4 that I'm forgetting, or is it just in there drilling away? Oh, excuse me, a little burp there. I don't know, but it makes me uneasy, as it should all of us, right? Because the first thing he's going to do is turn on his friends, because they are not listening to the order. They're not going along with it. He'll, recognize them as traitors and turn on them immediately. He's the big one, the strong one. That we don't need that Wrecker. Come on, man. He's the fun one. And I don't. Wrecker deserves better. So does Clone Force 99. They already lost one to the fucking Order 66 Crosshair. Be interested to see when we're going to see him again. We just went a couple of episodes without seeing him. So it'll be interesting to see when he comes back in. But to have this working its way into Wrecker now is sad. Why can't they find this chip and disable it or something? Like, can't they do that? Figure it out. The other thing in the episode that stood out is the information that Sid did give them about Fennec Shan. It's like, you don't know exactly who she is, but you know that she's a beast. And somebody hired her on direct commission. That point was made purposefully. It wasn't, there's not like some bounty that whoever is trying to get Omega, they didn't just put out a bounty for everybody to pick up on, right? Say, bring this person to me. You directly contacted a highly skilled bounty hunter for this mission in particular, which means that it's delicate, right? It's a delicate mission. And the way she was treating Omega when she found her was very kind. It wasn't like she was trying to hurt her. She's trying to get her to a specific place, right? Kidnap her or whatever. Man, why? What do they need Omega for? What do they need Omega for? I don't know yet. We don't know yet. But we'll find out eventually, and I'm scared of what we're going to find out when the time comes. Alas, those are the main points from episode 5. And episode 6. Episode 6 was even better than 5 because you brought back in Trace and Rafa, who I loved in Clone Wars. They were awesome in their episodes that they had with Ahsoka. And that's who I'm thinking they might be working for, right? Because that's the main thing on that one. There's a lot of fun stuff that happened in the episode. Interesting things that piqued my interest, right? So let's not make this more complicated than it has to be. It piqued my interest. Now I wonder if the command to destroy the tactical drones came from the Empire itself. because it seems like that'd be the case, right? Now they're using clones. They had the tactical droids, which when they were using them, they learned habits of the clones so they could more easily defeat them in battle. So now that you're using clones, you don't want tactical droids around. So also, if that's the case, then that would make it seem like it can be the Empire that Rafa and Trace were trying to retrieve things for. So you just rule them out automatically. Who were they talking to at the end? Who were they referencing? You said that whoever it was trying to do some good, right? We know that they think they killed all the Jedi, but we know they didn't. There's still some out there. Maybe Ahsoka. Maybe that's who they were talking to. I'm very curious as to who they were talking to. I'm sure we all are, right? But I'm thinking it might have been someone like Ahsoka. At first, Rafa and Trace didn't like Jedi, but that experience with Ahsoka, it sure changed their mind. Gave them something else, like not all Jedi are that bad, you know what I'm saying? And like Rafa said, eventually you're going to have to pick sides. Everybody chooses sides in this war. That it's still a war, even though the Empire won. There's still things going on, as we know, for the Republic trying to take back over, trying to get the Empire out of power. So the war isn't completely over. We know that, even though their forces were dealt a monumental blow. It's it's just interesting, man. It's just interesting. The way that they framed it at the end was made to look like she might be talking to someone nefarious, but I just think that was done on purpose. So if we actually listen to what she was saying, she even mentioned how, so you know how dangerous the tactical droids are, but you were still going to turn them over to somebody who you don't even know what they wanted to do with them, right? That's a complete 180 from the type of shit that she was doing in Clone Wars, where she was doing exactly what the Clone Force was doing, pulling jobs for whoever, not knowing what they were going to do with the items, materials that she was obtaining for them. But she was doing it anyway because she was just trying to make a buck. Now look at you. You got a conscience about it. Growth. So you show us all that just to try to tell us that she's talking to someone evil on the other end. It's not like there can't be other evil forces out there in the Star Wars universe, because we know that there are, right? There's not just the Republic or the Jedi and the Separatists or the Empire. We know there's a whole bunch of other factions. God damn, that fucking coffee got me burping heavy. My bad, y'all. I ain't supposed to be crazy like that. But staying true to me, I ain't gonna edit it out. It's a Pop the Trunk production. We keep it all. Where was I? I don't even know. I lost my place, my train of thought. But okay, but Rafa, the growth. Yeah, the growth from Rafa. Okay, so yeah, I just don't know. She still has that attitude, Rafa does, and I love the attitude that she has, but she has shown some growth that I appreciate. We still have the Order 66 permeating through Wrecker in that one, but I love how he was able to kind of brush it off when the time really came. And he responded to Omega calling for help. I love that part. I was scared when Omega was in danger on that conveyor belt. That was a little earlier from that, but I found myself almost holding my breath when she was in danger, man. Because if you've been rocking with the pod going back since I started this motherfucker, you know that I don't trust easy. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust nobody. I don't trust the writers, because anybody could die at any time. I'm not putting it past anyone. Like all the different shows and movies that I've watched over the past decade plus, especially Walking Dead. Walking Dead really hurt me, really scarred me. I can't trust anybody. I'm just not going to be able to do it. So everybody is suspect to me. And that's just the way that it's got to be until you show me different, because I'm not going to be fooled again. I'm not going to be fooled again. I will say at this point, not just Wrecker, but Hunter is also my favorite on the Clone Force. Omega may be my favorite overall, which is like I like talking about her a lot, but it also makes me conflicted. As I said before, I don't think it's her fault. Whatever is going on with her, why people want her, why I feel like there's something off about her. That why she's even here in the first place. There's something about her that I don't trust, but I love her to death. I love her to death, man. I thought it was cute as hell when she was telling Trace about tuning out distractions and shit when she was firing the bow and she was hitting her marks. That adrenaline was flowing. Talking about it's all about tuning out distractions. It's just like little kids, right? They learn something and then they kind of want to like teach it to somebody else, and it was fucking adorable. It really was. Um, those were the major points there for the episode 6. The Order 66 still permeating with Wrecker and whoever they were talking to, Rafa and Trace were talking to at the end of the episode. Those were the major points there in that episode that bear paying attention to as we continue to make our way through the story. Now, as I said, those were both great episodes, so I'm still all in on Bad Batch. They're doing a great job. There's so much content in the Star Wars world. They can do so much and go episodes at a time without taking us directly back to certain things that we may want to see, like what is going on with Crosshair and what's his next step with the Empire and all that shit. Like, because I really want to see all of that. We haven't seen that Admiral and none of those guys in a couple of episodes. I want to see them and see what they're up to. So maybe we'll see some of that next week. I look forward to that episode next week. We got a lot, boy, with the Bad Batch and Loki, and some of my other shows are starting to end. As for Law and Order SVU is a show that I love. I've seen every episode of every season. There's like 22 seasons. I've always loved that show. Law and Order Organized Crime. I don't know how many episodes are left of that. They brought Stabler back. Love that one. Chicago PD had its season finale. Blacklist is about to have its season finale soon. Love that show. One of my favorite all-time shows there. I'm a little stuffy too. I don't know where that's coming from. Let's see, what else? I gotta catch up. I'm behind on Flash. I watched those CW shows, right? They're not as high up on my list, but they entertain me. Flash, Batwoman, Black Lightning, Superman and Lois is a newer one that's good. Let's see. I'm not sure if they're bringing back Stargirl or not. It's been a while. I feel like at this point since season 1, but that first season was okay. I feel like I missed. Oh, Supergirl. Supergirl's another one. I watched that too. I used to watch Arrow, but if you know, of course, that one is gone now. It's already ended. That was the OG right there. I loved Arrow. Man, lots of shows coming and going. Look forward to the summertime because I'll be able to catch up on some of those shows. With basketball going off, I'm also a big basketball fan. We're watching the playoffs. So once that ends, it'll give me even more time to catch up on some of the shows that I've been missing. Because between work, school, shows, podcasts, this basketball, it's a lot. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of content, a lot of things to do. Loki drops, as I said, on Wednesday. I'm super excited for that. I'm super excited for that.
Spirits lifted.
All day. All day. Every time I see a Loki advertisement,
spirits lifted.
I'm excited. It doesn't matter how many you want to show me.
Don't care, couldn't care less.
You can show 1 million. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? What, you're tired? You're tired of seeing them?
Just go cry to your father, you little weasel.
I don't care. I want to see more. God damn. Anyway, what happens to the Tesseract, right? I don't have a whole bunch of questions. And right, we just want to know what happened to Loki when he left in Endgame, and what happened to the Tesseract. Everything else is just go. Show me what you put together. Right, I'm open to all ideas and direction, and the previews look amazing. The visuals look great. I just can't wait for Loki to drop on Wednesday. I'm so glad that I don't have to work. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to wait and stay up until 2 a.m. when it drops in my time zone to watch it, which I lived in California just for this occasion. It'd be dropping at midnight, God damn it. Why do we have to operate on... You know what? I ain't going to get upset about that. But I look forward to it. Just know that, okay? So I'll watch on Wednesday. I'll get my thoughts together, you know what I'm saying, write down the things that I might want to discuss and all of that, figure it out with the potential guests, and then I'll let y'all know on Thursday. I'll drop it on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? It's going down on Thursday. Be ready for that. Black Widow drops next month. Finally, we've been waiting over a year for this fucking movie. Has it been over a year? I think it's been over a year. Wasn't it like originally May 9th of 2020? Bruh, I've been waiting. We've been waiting. I can't wait. What happened in Budapest? Are they going to tell us what happened in Budapest or show us what happened in Budapest? Because they've mentioned Budapest 50,000 times, right? Clint, Natasha, they talk about it all the time. The people want to know what happened in Budapest. So either you're going to show us in this movie or you're going to give us a Black Widow Part 2 and you're going to show us in that movie. I don't know, but I need to know, okay? And I'm just interested to see what her original training was like, right? Because she's so skilled. We know that S.H.I.E.L.D. trains people to like a very, very high level. Most S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are very skilled in hand-to-hand combat. You know, the field agents. But her, she is just another level. She's an upper echelon, you know, so I'm very interested to see the growth from her when she was a kid and the things that they put her through and all that. And it's going to be sad and it's going to be fun and crazy, and I just look forward to it all. I will be front row. As soon as tickets drop for Black Widow, I will be buying them for me and my family. As I've told you before, we always go to the movies to see the MCU movies when they drop opening weekend. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We will be in attendance on opening weekend. The other thing I'm interested in is the Spider-Man thing. I don't know if you guys heard, but there is an announcement from Sony that said that they're going to work on bringing the Spider-Man universe into the MCU. Now, there's a bit of a back and forth that I had with a couple of people on Twitter because my brain works kind of funny. The logic that it tries to work through sometimes, you know, and when it's framed that way, it just seems weird to me because I understand, right? First of all, there's only been one other movie that's not Spider-Man that hails from the Spider-Man universe, I guess, right? Venom. But Venom didn't tie into Spider-Man at all. So we haven't seen Venom and the Carnage movie yet. We haven't seen Morbius or the Craven movie or any of that. So we don't know how those were going to be formed. But we do know that there's already a Spider-Man movie, a couple of them, and they're already tied into the MCU universe. So it just sounds weird in my brain for you to call the Spider-Man universe referring to the villains and the other people in the Spider-Man universe, but not actually including Spider-Man itself because he's already in the MC universe. I don't know. My brain does this thing. It just sounds weird to me. Now my nose is starting to run. Guys, it is 80 degrees outside. It's been about 80 the past couple days. I have no idea where this runny nose is coming from. God damn, what the hell? Hold on. And you thought I was just gonna end the show just because of that? Y'all are patient. Y'all can, you know what I'm saying? Just give me a second. Grab tissue, wipe my nose real quick. There's not a lot left. But yeah, the Spider-Man universe. But that's cool, right? I'm good with it. I'm good with them bringing everything in. That's dope as hell. The more, the merrier. I feel like everything that you put out that's Marvel related, if you could build it into the MCU universe, that is phenomenal. It's just the wording of it, you know. It's like the Spider, like I don't even know if I explained it right the way that my brain is thinking about it. The Spider-Man universe is not including Spider-Man when you refer to it as the Spider-Man universe, because you said the Spider-Man universe is something that you're going to put into the MCU. Well, Spider-Man is already in the MCU, so those would be separate. But what else would you call it, though, right? Because I don't know, man. I know I'm overthinking it. I sound weird. I sound crazy as hell. But that's just how my brain works. Spider-Man's already in it. Call them. Just say the villain, Spider-Man villains movies. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm doing the most. I know. But I look forward to it all. I don't know how you're going to do it. Now they said that it's going to start with the next Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, that is going to start working towards bringing some of those other movies into the fold. It'll be dope to see that. I would love to see Tom Hardy and Tom Holland on the same screen fighting each other, or however that's going to go with Venom, Spider-Man. Venom was like another one of my favorites when I was growing up watching Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my ultimate favorite hero, Marvel hero back then. I used to love the Spider-Man cartoon that came on. Kingpin was my guy, man. Like, bring all these characters in. Bring them all. Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin. Bring him into the MCU. If you can find a way to do that, that would be that would be phenomenal, because I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I think most of us who watch Daredevil would love to see it. There is nobody else, I feel, that can play Kingpin, at least for a while. Right? The way that he did it was just too perfect. It was too perfect. If there's going to be another Kingpin, it needs to be him. And I follow him on Twitter. I believe he would love to do it again, to play Kingpin. And I would love it. And I would love it too, man. But that's it for today. I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. If you liked the podcast today, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, leave a review. Follow your boy on Twitter at JaLilWill. You can follow me on Twitch, and because I have a game, and I like to talk about this stuff live. You know, if you want to talk about it live, we can do that. So that'll be twitch.tv/The Last Episode Podcast. Okay, and then of course Instagram's the same as my Twitter at JaLilWill. And I'm trying to get better posting on there. I do a little something. Alright? So you already know, you'll catch me on the flip side on Thursday. Be there for Loki.
You had one job.
You have one job. Be ready for Thursday's podcast, which means watch Loki on Wednesday, and because it's about to go down. I've already watched the Legends episodes. I'm sure most of you have as well, and I'm just ready to go, man. But so you know how we do.
Sun's getting real low.
We out.